Happening tomorrow, jurors will begin to hear testimony in the sentencing phase for convicted murderer Jonathan Quiles. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. Last week, you might recall, Quiles was convicted of murdering his pregnant niece, 16-year-old Iyana Sawyer, and her unborn child. News4JAX reporter Ashley Harding spoke to a local attorney about what jurors can expect tomorrow.
The attorney I talked to says in a typical death penalty hearing, jurors will hear testimony from people who will give their reasons for why they feel Quiles' life should be spared. Now, one thing to remember, the law about Florida's death penalty has changed. A unanimous jury recommendation is no longer needed. Now it's just 8-4. Less than 24 hours after a jury found him guilty of murder, Jonathan Quiles was back in court Friday.
Mr. Quiles, can you raise your right hand?
This time he wore a jumpsuit and listened to attorneys discussing his upcoming penalty phase. That will be his one chance to sway the jury from recommending he be sent to death row.
I expect to see a mini version of the trial with the government being able to put in the evidence that they were unable to put in trial, which could make it worse for the defendant.
Attorney Gene Nichols is not affiliated with the case, but says jurors will hear testimony that'll aim to humanize Quiles. Quiles has already indicated who that might be.
Who from New York?
Nichols says another thing likely to come up is Quiles' mental health.
Whether or not he has mental health issues, not enough that rose to the level of being incompetent or a not guilty by reason of insanity. But if there are mental health issues at play, then the defense is going to put those on.
Jurors will also consider the aggravating factors as laid out by the state, which include whether the crime was especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel, or committed in a cold, calculated, or premeditated manner.
They have to prove one of those aggravating factors by a unanimous verdict. If they do receive a unanimous vote on one of the aggravating factors, then the jury gets to decide whether or not the punishment is going to be death.
Iyana Sawyer's family is now another step closer to justice, but their journey still isn't over. Court will resume Monday morning at 10 o'clock, and the judge has said he hopes to have both sides closed Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning. This way, the jury could have all day to deliberate. Ashley Harding, Channel 4, the local station.